What's up everybody, welcome to yet another video. Now I'm so excited for this video and we are going to dive into this particular topic, subgenres of horror that just don't do it for me. And let's just go through all the different comments as based on this question that was posed on in Reddit. Someone asks, it's been a curiosity of mine lately since I have a personal criteria for movies or books. My rule is I'll watch anything at least once, but it doesn't extend to certain movies/books. Those kinds for me include the animal abusing or fetish movies, the TP category and movies made with genuine distaste and no artistic flair. Believe me, I'm not a purist or above these kinds of things. They just are like the fatty bits on a steak. I'll eat them, sure, but I won't enjoy it and probably end up cutting it off anyways. I do have a list of movies. So they go on and on about all these different genres, and they specifically ask, does anyone have any specific genre and why? And it's all these different comments. Someone commented this: anything that used to be a cartoon and the copyright has just expired and gone into public domain. Now the first thing that popped up in my tiny brain was the Winnie the Pooh movie, specifically this image right here. It's Winnie the Pooh, but it's someone, allegedly someone. I haven't watched this movie, you guys, but it's someone wearing a Winnie the Pooh mask and perhaps murdering people with this weapon. Is it like a sledgehammer? And yeah, it's a whole other thing. So someone commented under that this was going to be my pick. I feel like they are almost always too lazily done to be even so bad it's good entertaining. Yeah, oh yeah, which is a shame because in the right set of hands those could actually be super fun. Like if someone wanted to pay a legitimate homage to Winnie the Pooh, where you can tell it comes from the heart while also adding horror comedy elements to it. Yeah, so someone else commented pregnancy related body horror. No thanks. So yeah, someone under that commented so inside. Someone commented Alien. Does Alien fall under that? Well, is Alien supposed to be like a horror movie? I would say it's movies like The First Omen, where it's the nun, this character right here. I really enjoyed this movie, you guys. I don't know why, but it really stood out to me. Excuse this particular scene, but yeah, it's kind of shocking, this particular scene right here. But I really enjoyed the actress. I think she did a really good job in this. I really recommend The First Omen if you haven't watched it. So it's this nun right here that ends up, I think it's like a cult or something, and they impregnate her with some weird ass child. And it's this post right here drawing comparisons between The First Omen and Immaculate, the movie with Sydney Sweeney. And it's a whole other thing. These movies are very much comparable. I don't know how or why it's like that. And I don't know why there wasn't like a lawsuit or something that went around because of the similarities between those specific movies. Someone else commented occult movies were done so well in the 60s and 70s with striking imagery and masterful tension. That was the peak. I can't recall any recent occult movies that scratch that itch for me, although I'm willing to give them a watch. So yeah, someone else commented under this comment, the series Archive 81, Hereditary and Midsommar are just a few that are pretty solid. Well, I watched Hereditary and Midsommar, and it's those movies with Ari Aster that I think that are very much unique. And after, I really enjoyed Midsommar, and I kind of remember watching it at about 10 p.m. I think, and after reaching the final scene in that particular movie, I was very much so left in shock about what I just witnessed. It was very much different, very much specific, and something very unique. So someone commented, have you seen Midsummer? Yeah, Midsummer is very much I'd say it's like a classic. Midsummer, and Hereditary, I'd say those are classics. Someone commented, the specific type of slasher where the main characters suck because you're supposed to hate them. If they're annoying and shitty, why do I want to watch a movie about them? Yeah, so I recently watched this movie. It's called, I don't know how come, is it, is it how it's supposed to be pronounced? I think it's pronounced Hokum. So it's with this actor right here, and this character. I think his name is, I don't remember. I don't remember, guys. But he's supposedly an a writer in this movie, and the guy is a basic asshole and very much unlikable since the beginning of the episode, and I really want to do like a full review on this movie. I did enjoyed it, but I was expecting so much more about the whole thing. They were kind of teasing about a witch in a hotel that this writer was staying in, and yeah, it's a whole other thing. But yeah, I was expecting so much more from the quote unquote witch that they were teasing throughout the movie. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. And yeah, this so the writer is very much an asshole and someone I wouldn't say I was rooting for throughout the movie, but yeah, I think it's kind of neutral with this character. But yeah, I wasn't very much invested with that character. Someone commented, demonic possession movies are typically boring and uninteresting to me. Once in a while, you'll get a truly unique take on the subgenre, like The Last Exorcism, but most of the films just follow the same playbook that The Exorcist wrote decades ago, instead of trying to do something fresh and original. Well, I haven't watched this movie, and as a fan of horror beginning, I guess from like 2017 or something, I haven't watched much of these horror movies. I think I'll get into it. So someone commented, I was thinking it's kind of the Joe's dilemma, where someone very talented made the best movie in the subgenre, and over 50 years later, nobody had come close. And at best, you have thousands of movies just recycling those original tropes. If you've seen The Exorcist, then you've seen every demonic possession movie. Well, yeah, it's a whole other thing with these possession movies. I'm not. I haven't watched much possession movies. Well, does Constantine count as a possession movie? And is that even a horror story? Constantine, the movie, it's like 2005. Yeah, it's with Keanu Reeves. I really enjoyed this movie. It's so iconic. I love it. So yeah, does it even count like an exorcism movie? Is it even horror? Someone commented, clowns, they just aren't scary to me. I do love Twisty and Captain Spaulding. Let's view these movies. Well, the most iconic horror movies involving clowns for me, it's 2017, I guess. Yeah, very much. This character is very much iconic. Stephen Hawking is that character. I mean that writer who creates these very much unique and iconic characters and villains, I would say. So yeah, I love Pennywise, and specifically this actor. I think his name is like Tim Curry. Very much enjoyed his portrayal of the character, Pennywise the clown, and it's from 1990. Let's view some images. It's this particular scene right here, very much scary. He's like coming from the storm, the shower drainage or whatnot. And after watching this movie, I was very much young when watching this movie, but yeah, after watching this movie, I was so scared of going into the shower, you guys. So scared. I think I didn't even bath for like a week or a month or something. So someone else commented, not a big zombie fan. With the exception of Shaun of the Dead and Train to Busan, I actively avoid watching them. they are just repetitive, and it's always like we humans are the real threat, even though there's zombies. Well, I wouldn't say I'm like a big fan of zombie movies, but you know, my whole thing is how do all these characters struggle with surviving zombie movies. Like, I get zombies that are very much intellectual and fast, like the zombies we see in World War Z, but the rest of the other movies and series, having zombies, how can you even not survive that? It's like very much easy, because consider like The Walking Dead. The zombies are very slow, very weak. Like, how can they overpower someone? Like, I get like a horde, perhaps like a horde can overpower me, but overall these zombies are very slow, very much weak. I can just take off running and they wouldn't catch me. Like, come on. I also understand, like, are they even zombies? I think it's just infected, like The Last of Us, the infected, very much powerful, very much scary. I wouldn't say I could survive this world. So someone else commented, the monster being an on-the-nose representation of my unresolved past trauma. There are some that do this really good, but it's been getting more on the nose recently, and I'm getting over it. Yeah, someone commented under that, I'm so burnt out on trauma allegories. So my whole thing is, after watching Smile, Smile, the horror movie, I was very much invested in this type of horror, because it's very much unique and something I haven't seen that was previously done, and it really stood out to me as a movie. Very much iconic, very much something I would recommend to horror fans, and it's very unique to me. Like, it's very much unique. When are we getting Smile 3, to be honest, you guys? Like, tell me in the comments. I haven't been in touch on all the rest. But yeah, so Smile 3, it's this demon right here, and how you pass the demon is through traumatizing someone. So after traumatizing someone, the demon ends up latching onto them. So specifically, like, the person who is currently inhabited by the demon, they have to like kill themselves or something. Yeah, it's a whole other thing, you guys. It's a whole other thing. Also, the Babadook is about a whole thing about parenting and grief and whatnot. Also, we see the Conjuring. There is that whole scene with what's their name? Like, these two, what's her name? Like, Lorraine, the Warrens or whatever. They are taking care of a family, and that family is all depressed after losing, I think, the father or whatnot, and they're barely scraping by. But yeah, it's a whole other thing about mental issues and whatnot. I think it's kind of like a weird thing to navigate in horror movies, like balancing all these different past traumas and all the mental imagery as related to horror movies. Someone else commented, ultra rich people doing effed up things to other people because they're bored and they can is one of my least favorite subgenres. They're referring to the movies Blink Twice and Infinity Pool. Well, while I haven't watched those specific movies, let's look at Blink Twice. This is, I wouldn't say it's like something I'll go for. Like, from the images only, it's not captivating to me. But recently I watched this movie. It's called Ready or Not 2, and I didn't watch the first one, but I was hooked. You guys, when I say hooked, I was hooked when watching this movie. Like, I didn't know the backstory from the previous movie. Well, my favorite is the second one. The first one wasn't that good. But I was hooked because it's all these characters going at each other, and they have to kill this quote-unquote bride in this movie. And yeah, it's a whole other thing about inheriting power and wealth, and I'll recommend to you guys to watch this movie. It's so much fun, so much fun. I really enjoy these movies that have all these rules and whatnot. Like it's what's that movie with Liam Hemsworth? The most something game. It's called Liam, the most dangerous game. Yeah, the most dangerous game. This movie right here, I wouldn't particularly call this like a horror movie. It's like a thriller or something with some action, but yeah, this movie right here, it has all these rules that this character has to follow, and all the people that hunt him. Very much interesting. I was so invested in this movie. So I enjoy movies that have all these rules applying to them. Someone commented, I don't care for slashes. Well, I wouldn't say like I'm a big fan of slashes or whatnot, but what's they call, like Hellraiser? While I didn't watch the Hellraiser movies, but I find these, I think they're called like Cenobites or something. I find them very, very, very interesting. I was researching all over YouTube after finding out about all this movie. I was so invested, you guys. I was so invested. Is this even considered like a slasher movie? Like, I know it's Friday the 13th, or the Nightmare on Elm Street or whatnot. The typical slasher films. Well, I am not a fan of these slasher films, but well, I did see some. It's called what's his name? Saw movie. Yeah, I enjoyed the Saw series. The Saw movie collections very much, and I was so captivated with this, and I enjoyed the story so much. I would recommend you guys watch this movie. And also Wrong Turn. Yeah, this series is like all over the place. It kind of deviated into some weird ass territories later on, but it had potential, so much potential. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, to be honest. These Wrong Turn movie collections, but I kind of enjoy the typical slasher films, even Jeepers Creepers. Yeah, this scary ass monster villain and whatnot. Yeah, it's a whole other thing. So someone commented this: not all slashers, but slashers. I don't hate them. They don't do it for me. Or if the big scary monster is Satan, or it has the 666 type imagery, it's just corny to me. Rosemary's Baby is a good movie, and I overlook this aspect because it's a movie from the 60s. Interesting. Well, while I haven't been seeing movies regarding Satan and whatnot, I recently stumbled upon this movie. It's called it's written Gawa, but it's pronounced Gawa. And at the very end of this movie, they kind of summon this creature right here, and I think it's like Satan or like Baphomet or something. But yeah, this movie, I really enjoyed it. It's very much unique, and I think it's like a new dive into storytelling. I enjoyed how the story unfolded and whatnot. But yeah, is it something that you guys will be interested in, like a review or something? I'll probably do it later on. Someone commented, I have yet to see a werewolf movie that I thought was genuinely great, and I've seen a lot of them. They just don't do it for me. Well, while I don't think particularly it's like a werewolf movie, but it's this movie right here, The Beast Within. It has Kit Harington, the actor who played Jon Snow in the Game of Thrones series. And The Beast Within is about this character. he quote unquote transforms into a beast. It's like a werewolf thing. But I think the movie was like a metaphor for like a man being in control of the household, because he's having all these interactions with his wife and kid. But it's like a metaphor for like abuse or something, like domestic violence or something. So because when he turns into this beast, it's all the wife trying to reconcile and kind of calm him down, so that the kid doesn't experience all these different traumatizing things that the father is going through. But it's kind of what I drew from that movie and the final scene. Let me know if you guys watched that movie and what your thoughts were on that specific movie. Someone commented, I've gotten kind of bored of paranormal horror. Unless it's a really new take, it's just so overdone and boring anymore. Yeah, it's a whole other thing. Because some, it's, I would say it's like a widow's Bay. Yeah, it's this series right here. It's called Widow's Bay. They have an episode where it's kind of hinted that this character right here spends a night in a hotel room where there's this ghosts and whatnot that's interrupting the activity. And well, I'd say I enjoy this series specifically, but the whole thing about ghosts and whatnot, it's not, and the paranormal, it's not my favorite thing overall. Someone commented, most religious horror, anything where the devil is the big bad. Unpopular opinion, but this is The Witch for me. I like bad. I mean, can you blame these people for freaking out and acting irrationally when their god is literally Satan? A witch in the woods used their baby as a body scrub. Their crops are failing, their kids are weird, their son is horny, the animals are dying, but that is quite explicitly because they are being targeted by actual Satan. I think you're allowed to act irrationally about horrible ish that happens to you if the horrible ish is the devil's fault. Interesting. Someone says anything that falls under extreme horror, the kind that's just meant to be shocking and grotesque, like the human centipede. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's these movies that I wouldn't even try to gravitate towards. Like, I have seen some breakdowns and some clips here and there, but I wouldn't even gravitate towards watching this movie because it's just creepy. Like, the whole body modification horror subgenre is just not for me. Like, we have that movie, I think it's called Warriors movie. Yeah, it's someone who gets transformed, step by step, slowly into these warriors. Like, it's crazy. It's someone who kidnaps this poor man, and they end up chopping his legs off and turn them into basic warriors. Like, I just cannot handle watching body modification and body whatever, like disfiguration horror movies. It's just so weird and outlandish to me. I just can't. Someone commented Nazi zombies. Someone says I can't handle body horror. Well, while I'm not a fan of body horror overall, specifically The Warriors and The Human Centipede, these movies right here, I would say I really enjoyed The Substance. The Substance is about this particular character right here, and she undergoes changing the roles between these two characters after using this injection that she uses, and it's all about activation and body image and whatnot. So the character ends up being transformed into this weird ass looking creature right here. I wouldn't say it's like body horror, but it's very much body horror specifically. But yeah, it's a whole other thing, you guys. If you haven't watched this movie, it's very unique, and I was so invested in it. I enjoyed the most time with it. It's so iconic. This movie is so iconic. I would recommend it to you guys. Someone says scary man with some kind of melee weapon has always been boring to me. Yeah, Friday the 13th, and all the slasher movies. Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I didn't watch those movies, but I think that's what this person is referring to. Someone says movies like Human Centipede, Task, body modification movies are not my thing. Also, extreme gore. Yeah, extreme gore. Well, I'm looking at Terrifier. If you haven't watched Terrifier, then good for you, because this movie is just gore for the sake of gore. It's this character right here, Arch the Clown, whacking people and chopping people off basically, and it's a whole other thing. So that's it for this video. We have so many other comments, maybe we'll go through them in another upcoming video. But yeah, do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, and if you enjoy this video, let me know in the comments. I'm so excited to grow the channel, you guys. So excited. We are gearing up to the premiere of House of the Dragon. I will be doing reviews on that series, and let's also prepare for the upcoming Harry Potter series on HBO that's coming in December this year, 2026. So excited for that. Subscribe to the channel, you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.